In the land of misinformation, I'm the truth seeker. Cut through the lies like a blade, I'm a fact checker. Black communications, the social need to follow. Unmasking fake news, exposing them all tomorrow. I'm on a mission, fighting for the information. No room for deception, it's time for retaliation. Black communications, we set the record straight. Real news, no filters, just the facts we dedicate. Fake news spreading like an epidemic outbreak, but I won't back down, I'll be the one to make them choke. Black communications, not that relevant until exposing all the lies. Watch them burn in hell.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, Rosa here of Splat Communications. Before we start, may we request dear followers, viewers and subscribers to please don't skip ads. This will help us a lot to continue the work that we do. Thank you. Likewise, may we request those who have not subscribed yet to please do so. Kindly make it a habit to like the videos, but more importantly, share it so you can help us in our fight against fake news, misinformation and disinformation.
Ang hirap po mag-imbestiga sa Pilipinas, lalo na po kung may agam-agam na may paniniwala na pulis din ang may gawa. So, we appeal to the Congress and we challenge President Marcos Jr. to do something about this. If all of you truly value the lives of the victims of extrajudicial killings and Filipino people, for most, you will cooperate with the ICC. We appeal to President Marcos Jr. and to the Congress. We want investigations and trials that are fair, thorough, and comprehensive. We want truth and accountability. Please hear us. Please help our family heal. Good afternoon, Your Honor, and good afternoon, everyone. I am Shira Escudero, sister of Ephraim S. Escudero, killed at 18 years old. He had two sons who are now 8 and 7 years old, who now live with me, their tita, and their mother and their grandparents in Laguna. Our family never anticipated speaking in the Congress, testifying how these people cold-bloodedly took my brother's life. I am here because two boys are asking what happened to their father. Bakit may bullet sa head si Daddy? Followed by questions about why he died and if the place where his body was found was that far from our place. Paano ko po sila sasagutin? Someday, they will ask more questions about what happened to their father. We want them to know that we did what we could. May it be here in Congress or in the ICC. We are seeking justice and not letting these killers and the death squads na nagsagawa po nitong drug war na maghugas kamay lamang. So, this is what happened. September 19, 2017 was the last time that we saw Ephraim, my brother. It was around 4 p.m. when my brother left our house in his single motorcycle, a red Suzuki Rider 150cc. Actually, regalo po yun sa kanya ni Papa. Ayan po. And then, he promised to return to our family-owned gadget repair shop at Suki Market, San Pedro, Laguna, 1 kilometer away from our house. Nung hapon na iyon, he even cooked dinner and told us that he'll be gone for an hour or so, but he never came back. Based on the security camera footage, my brother was last seen alive on September 19, 2017 at around 6 p.m. driving his motorcycle along Rizal Street and Mabini Street in Poblacion, San Pedro City. Meron pong dalawang hitchhiker. We identified the other one. His name is Ronnie Pionilla. And the other one is unidentified. Our family began to search for my brother and registered his disappearance in the blotter of the San Pedro City Police Station. We also handed out missing posters. The next day po, nung nawala siya, we printed posters and disseminated it sa community sa police station and even posted it online. So we searched for 5 days, going to different police stations inside and outside of our town in San Pedro City, Laguna. In one of our searches, one of the police officers there told my mother, nung hinahanap po niya yung kapatid ko, sabi ng police, baka natokhang. Days after, a wife of one of the detainees in San Pedro City, City Jail, told my mother, told us, she personally informed my father and me. I was there when she said, she informed us that our family, she informed us that victims of Tokhang in San Pedro City or those who were killed are being brought to the provinces in the northern Luzon. She specified one of the places, Zambales daw po. May iba pa po siyang binanggit, pero dahil sobrang grabe na yung emotion ko yung time na yun, I remember clearly, isa po ay Zambales, and she said, maghanap sa mga kalapit na lugar ng Zambales. Verbatim, doon po tinatapon yung mga tinutumba sa San Pedro. I never imagined that we would be looking in morgues and we had to do this by ourselves. Kami po yung nag-gather ng mga CCTV footage, nagbahay-bahay. Kami po yung nag-ikot from one town to another para hanapin yung kapatid ko. Because the PNP and even the local police sa city po ng San Pedro never mobilized in search for my brother. Are we that unimportant? After we surveyed the newspapers and TV for 5 days, we came upon a news report. Ang sabi sa headline sa Filipino Star, 2 bangkay natagpuan sa magkahiwalay na lugar sa Pampanga. Same descriptions as my brother. Our family went to the funeral parlor in Pampanga, and there, my parents and his partner confirmed that it's him. Papa told us, wala na si F, nakita na namin siya. Ephraim's body was found on September 21, 2017. 5 araw na po kaming naghahanap. 21 po pala, patay na siya. So, 19 po siya umalis. 21, wala na siya. Inabot kami ng September 24 sa paghahanap. And then, nung araw na rin po yun, nabasa namin sa dyaryo, yung tungkol nga po kay Ephraim. When found, my brother's head was wrapped with packaging tape. Nakasubsob sa damuhan. Naka-packaging tape ang ulo, nakatali. Ang braso, sa likod ang kamay. He was hog-tied. And then yung mga binti po niya, nakatali din po ng tape. May dugo po na tumutulo galing sa ulo niya, even if naka-tape yon. And may 3 gunshot wounds po siya. He still wore the clothes that he had when he disappeared. A witness, may teenager po doon na nakarinig ng 2 gunshots and nakita niya rin po yung white van with no license plate. May lalaki po doon, he left after the body was thrown out of the vehicle. Habang yung isa naman pong bangkay na na-identify ay si Ronnie Pionilla. He was found later on the same day in Porac, September 21.
Mga shades. Okay po. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Ako po si Leory Pasco, 69 years old. Isa sa mga nanay na volunteer ng Rise Up for Life and for Rights. Ang akin pong anak na 2 na sina Crisanto at Juan Carlos ay biktima ng extrajudicial killings kaugnay ng war on drugs. Pinatay sila ng mga pulis Quezon City 7 taon na po ang nakalipas. May 12, 2017, sabi ng mga pulis, hinabol nila ang 3 kalalakihan sa may Commonwealth at noong naabutan nila ay mga nanlaban. Sabi ng mga pulis, natagpuan daw nila ang drugs at paraphernalia sa bulsa ng aking mga anak. Pero walang maayos na investigasyon ang mga pulis. At hindi kapanipaniwala ang kanilang mga kwento. Noong May 11 ay nagpaalam sila na pupunta sa kanilang tiyuhin itong si Crisanto Lozano sa Parañaque upang magpatulong na kunin ang kanyang narinyo na lisensya bilang security guard. Gusto ko lamang kong ibigay diin na nag-grant na po ang security license ni Crisanto. Isa sa mga patunay na malinis at walang masamang record ang aking anak. Kabilang ang mga anak ko sa na-clear na sa barangay na hindi sangkot sa illegal na droga noong 2016. Nang pumasok si Duterte, syempre natakot po kami. Kaya't nag-ayos sila at parehong nagkaroon ng maayos at marangal na trabaho. Si Juan Carlos po ay binata at isang construction worker at taga-deliver po ng sulat, yung bill ng Meralco. Kaya masakit po na malaman sa balita ng aking mga anak ay napaslang sa isang police operation.
Yori,
Sa
gusto ko
Di Umano.
lang tanungin, inayos nyo yung, ano yung sabi nyo, inayos nyo ulit?
Ano po, nung
Nung naging Pangulo si President Digong ay inayos nyo ang buhay nyo.
hindi po, naayos na po ang buhay nila.
Oo. So nakatulong ang Pangulo na maging maayos ang buhay nyo.
Hindi rin po. Kasi natakot po kami.
Tuloy po ninyo.
Kaya masakit po malaman sa balita na ang aking mga anak ay napaslang sa isang police operation. Di umano, pagnanakaw at pagkasangkot sa illegal na droga. Ang katawan po ng anak ko ay nagtamo ng halos tama ng baril. Mga 20 times noong Mayo 12. Hindi lamang dito natatapos ang aming kalbaryo. Pinagpasapasahan po kami bago makita ang labi ng aking mga anak. Una kaming pinapunta sa funeral parlor sa Muñoz, Quezon City. Pero wala naman po doon yung katawan ng aking mga anak. Kung hindi, doon pa po sa funeral parlor sa Sampaloc, Manila. At bago po yun, pinababayad po kami ng halagang 100,000 piso. Pero nakatawad po kami ng 75,000. So bago namin nakita ang labi ng aking mga anak nung nag-down kami ng 50,000. Na halos nabubulok na po ang katawan ng mga anak ko bago namin nakita dahil sa hindi maayos ang paglagay ng gamot o formalin sa kanilang mga katawan. Isang malaking inhustisya o pang-iinsulto sa pagkatao namin at ng mga anak ko ang ginawa nilang pagpaslang at pagsasamantala. Mula nang napaslang ang aking mga anak, nagkaroon po ako ng pagkakataon na marinig ang mga kwento ng mga nanay, tatay, asawa at kapatid kung paano pinaslang ang kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Dahil sa war on drugs. Ito po ay naging daan ang mga kwento upang ako ay magpasyang maging bahagi ng makabuluhang gawain para sa katarungan. Bilang isang nanay ay kinatawang ko po ang mga pamilya ng mga biktima na pinaslang at nilabag ang kanilang karapatang pantao. Bilang isang volunteer po ng Rise Up, tumutulong din po ako sa komunidad kasama ang Rise Up team na nagbibigay ng moral at spiritual na suporta sa mga kaanak ng mga biktima upang maibsan ang kanilang pagdadalamhati sa pagkawala ng kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Kami po ay lubos na umaasa na makamit namin ang hustisya. Nananawagan po kami sa gobyerno ni Marcos Jr. na sana po ay dinggin at bigyan ng pansin ang aming hiling na magkaroon ng patas at maayos na investigasyon sa war on drugs. Noong 2018, dumulog po kami sa International Criminal Court at sana ay mag-cooperate tayo dito. Lalo na't matagal na nilang inaral ang naganap sa Pilipinas. Hindi po kami nawalan ng pag-asa, bagkus kami nakalaang maghintay. Lubos ang aming pasasalamat sa mga taong simbahan at sa iba't ibang sekta na handa ding maglaan ng oras at pagtulong sa aming mga pamilya ng mga biktima. Gayon din po sa iba't ibang organisasyon na may kahalintulad na layunin na handang sumuporta sa aming panawagan para sa katarungan. Hiling po namin at panawagan sa mga pamilya ng biktima na patuloy silang umagapay sa pamamagitan ng sama-samang panalangin at pagkilos sa pagkamit ng katarungan. Alam po namin na hindi tayo pababayaan ng ating mahal na Panginoong Diyos na sa tuwinay sa ating nakasubaybay sa ating mga gawa. Maraming salamat po sa pagbibigay sa amin ng pagkakataon na maibahagi ang aming mga kwento upang madinig po ng sambayan ng Pilipino ang aming panawagan para sa pagkamit ng hustisya. Maraming salamat.
Shoutouts. Hidden Ninja. Rina Bobby. Please support Splat Communication Channel memberships. Lilian For small
Arisa.
amounts per month, you would be able to help us continue our fight against fake news and disinformation. Renato, we have 3 levels of membership. Maria Leonora Cacopia, Splat Beginner, Splat Intermediate Plus, and Super Splat. Mr. Channel members have the any or Angelita Generalo. Loyalty badge, priority reply to messages. Members only live chat, Stephanie Castillo and live video shot, Xavier early access to videos, Renato social media, free and discounted merchandise. FAC, please become a channel member now. Gloria Kobayashi, Stephanie Castrillo, Xavier Tan Ala, Lolita Jabeo, Milagros Valenzuela, Mommy Piar, Rosemary Poole, Andronico P. Tubjar Jr., Moritz Sumario, Lori Mama Wag, Amarelia Faga, Evelyn Dentro, Eleuterio Rizada Jr., Anthony Delos Reyes, Claros Riosa, Marcelina de Guzman, Rick Dedero,
Kanino daw
Chris
napupunta
Pulan,
ang pera?
Nilo Antonio,
Sino si Eddie?
Ramel Morales, Meljen Chan, Bernard Oriano, Grace Germina, Giant Essing Ganga, Don
Tumindig
Pilio,
kayo!
Ronald Asido,
Tinitiyak
Loreto
ko,
Tanda,
meron ding
Ferry Coy,
titindig sa tabi nyo.
Diosdado Cananaigo,
Ano pangalan niyo ulit? Rastaman, yo. Half human, half zombie. What you gonna do? What you gonna do with a big big wing?
In a world unfolding, where stories come alive, amidst the chaos, there's a truth we strive. Splat Communications, the voice that breaks the mold, reliable and relevant. We're here to unfold, breaking down the walls, moving side by side. Splat Communications, our truth we can't hide. We're the source you lean on, reliable and strong. Get your news from us, where you truly belong. In every headline written, the stories that we tell, the captivating moments that life compels. Through the lens of truth, we capture every scene. Splat Communications, where facts intervene.
Splat Reaction/Commentary. As concerned citizens, we are deeply moved by the recent hearing conducted by the House of Representatives Committee on Human Rights. The hearing, which focused on the victims of the war on illegal drugs during the administration of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, was a significant step towards acknowledging the pain and suffering endured by many families. The committee's dedication to uncovering the truth and holding those responsible accountable is commendable. Their commitment to human rights and justice is evident in their thorough examination of the evidence and their empathetic approach towards the victims' families. The appeal of the victims' families to the incumbent Philippine President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., is a poignant reminder of the justice that is yet to be served. Their courage in seeking help and their unwavering hope for justice is truly inspiring. We are optimistic that under the leadership of President Marcos Jr., the cries for justice will not fall on deaf ears. His administration has the opportunity to right the wrongs of the past and ensure that every victim of extrajudicial killings during the Duterte administration receives the justice they deserve. This hearing has reinforced our belief in the power of democracy and the importance of human rights. It is a testament to the resilience of the Filipino people and their relentless pursuit of justice. As we move forward, we hope that this will serve as a turning point in our nation's history, a moment where we collectively say no more to injustice and impunity.
Ain't no land of misinformation, I'm the truth seeker. Cut through the lies like a blade, I'm a fact checker. Black communications, the social need to follow. I'm asking fake news, exposing them all tomorrow. I'm on a mission, fighting for the information. No room for deception, it's time for retaliation. Black communications, we set the record straight. Real news, no filters, just the facts we dedicate. Fake news spreading like an epidemic outbreak, but I won't back down, I'll be the one to make them choke. Black communications, not that relevant until exposing all the lies.